For you as an MBA aspirant or an MBA student, I know this is a very discomforting feeling that we are MBAs or we are planning to become MBAs, but my English speaking skills, my verbal communication skills is not that good. तो मैं क्या MBA का इंटरव्यू क्लियर कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं, क्या मैं MBA में सर्वाइव कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं, क्या एक MBA को जैसे बोलना चाहिए मैं वैसे बोल पाऊंगा या बोल पाऊंगी कि नहीं. मैं जानता हूं ये बहुत कॉमन सवाल है. And I can understand these questions because when I was an MBA aspirant, I had a very big speech problem. I used to stammer and I still do. I used to stammer while speaking. In fact, in my MBA interviews, instead of speaking out my answers, I used to actually scribble my answers on A4 sheets. I have said this in a lot of videos of mine, so you can watch them. The fact is, from that point, I went into my MBA program at IIM Udaipur and I experienced that kind of a transformation that today I can speak to you on this video. I can do lives and I can speak fairly fluently. And therefore, in this video, my objective is to tell you that, hey, first of all, if you're somebody who thinks that verbal communication is not your strength, you don't speak well and this and that, and maybe your English is not good, it's okay. There is a way to solve it. I have solved it. I am an example in front of you, and there will be a lot of other examples. One is that. Second thing is that I'll be sharing some insights about you that probably your verbal communication प्रॉब्लम, जैसा आप बोल रहे हैं, वो शायद सिर्फ बोलने की प्रॉब्लम या बोलने की समस्या नहीं है. उसके पीछे भी और चीजें हैं जिनको अगर आप समझ गए और जिनको अगर आपने सॉल्व कर लिया तो आप अपना वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स ऑटोमेटिकली इंप्रूव कर पाएंगे. हाय, आई एम दर्पण सक्सेना, एन MBA ग्रेजुएट फ्रॉम IIM उदयपुर, एंड आई हेल्प MBA स्टूडेंट्स क्रिएट फुलफिलिंग करियर्स विदाउट डिपेंडिंग ऑन प्लेसमेंट्स. मैंने ये वीडियो बनाने से पहले बहुत सोचा कि एग्जैक्टली मेरे ऐसे क्या एक्सपीरियंसेस थे जिनसे मैं आपको सिखा सकूं कि कैसे आप एक ऐसे सिचुएशन से जहां पे आपको ये फील हो रहा है कि आपकी इंग्लिश नहीं है अच्छी, आपकी वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन नहीं है बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी, उससे कैसे एक प्लेस पे जा सकते हैं कि जहां पे आप कॉन्फिडेंटली शायद एक यूट्यूब चैनल भी स्टार्ट कर सकें. वेल, मेरे लाइफ से मैं जो चीज़ें निकाल पाया हूँ वो सिर्फ मेरे लाइफ से ही नहीं है, ये मैंने और रिसर्च करा. आई स्पोक टू माई फ्रेंड्स हु वर एट दैट सिमिलर प्लेस एंड दीज आर द 3 things which I could find out, and I'll be sharing about all of these 3 things. Now, before that, I want to give you this confidence about this one thing that if I can go from a place wherein I was stammering, I could not speak 2 words एक साथ, I used to take a gap after almost each word. If I can go from that stage to this stage where I can speak to you, you can do it. आपको पहली चीज समझनी ये होगी कि वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स कोई बचपन से नहीं सीखता है, ये भी एक स्किल है. एंड जस्ट लाइक एनी अदर स्किल, लाइक Python, like R, like whatever else, Excel, this is a skill which you can learn. So one thing great is that if you thinking that in my schooling I didn't learn English, और मैंने सीखी नहीं यार, अब सीख पाऊंगा कि नहीं, I am around 20, 21, 22, maybe even older than that. Will I be able to learn it now? Well, you will be able to learn it because you need to understand that there are 3 components to it, and these are those 3 components to it. Now let me explain to you what exactly you need to do. First thing is that the verbal communication is about English. हम यहाँ पे एक बात समझते हैं कि ठीक है, आपके MBA एडमिशन इंटरव्यूज एंड आपका MBA और आप जिस भी कॉर्पोरेट में जाएंगे वो मोस्टली इंग्लिश में ही काम होगा, तो आपको प्रॉब्लम अंग्रेजी की ही है. इसमें आपको समझनी होंगी 3 चीजें. मैं आपको पहले 3 चीजें समझाऊंगा, उसके बाद आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू improve it. The language in itself, the first thing which you need to understand about this is one very simple thing. A lot of students think that for you to be a good verbal communicator, your vocabulary has to be amazing. You have to use some really amazing words and this and that, and only then you would come across as somebody who speaks really well. But that's not the truth. Your vocabulary has to be very basic. In fact, if you watch any of my videos, and I would assume that you would think that I can speak fairly well, I hardly use any big words. I hardly use any jargons. I use very simple words which you would learn in school, and that's how I communicate. Because the idea of communication skills is not to use fancy words. The idea of communication is to just communicate your ideas. अपने विचारों को दूसरे के सामने प्रकट करना, ये ही communication का सार है. करने को तो आप ये हिंदी में भी कर सकते हैं, मगर इंग्लिश एक widely accepted language है. इंग्लिश एक status symbol नहीं है. Just because it's a widely accepted language, that is why you need to know. दूसरी बात यह है कि मैं यहाँ पे एक चीज अज्यूम करके चल रहा हूँ. The reason why I'm mostly creating this video in English is because I am assuming that you're an MBA aspirant. You'll be appearing for CAT or ZAT or SNAP or all of those exams. And by virtue of the fact that you are an MBA aspirant, आपकी इतनी तो अंग्रेजी होगी जहाँ पे मुझे अब आपको ये बेसिक लेवल पे सिखाना नहीं होगा कि hey, how to learn English. I am assuming that you know few things about English. You know fairly well. It's just that you don't, that probably you feel that your vocabulary is not good or something else. Now the second point from there is that vocabulary, basic vocabulary you should know, it's more than enough. The second thing is a lot of people think that fluency, our fluency has to be great, that we should not stop or we should not use filler words and all of those things. I would go to the extent of saying even if you stop or pause or use filler words, it's okay. It's fine if that is something which is creating stress for you, that oh my god, I cannot say I cannot say I cannot say well, समझना ही होगा आप अभी कहाँ पे हैं. If right now you are at 10%, which is 10 out of 100, your aim has to be to reach at least 60 to 70. That is a big achievement for you. 60 to 70 is more than enough for you to clear any MBA admission interview. Your aim might not be to reach a 90, that you'll be such a good communicator that you'll be very fluent this and that. No, again, communication is about explaining things. So if you can explain your context to an interviewer that hey, you know what, probably I came from a Hindi medium school, or probably I've always had a speech problem, which is what my story is. Even if you take gaps and you use filler words, it's okay. Obviously, if you're somebody who is much beyond those filler words and gaps and all, then probably fluency for you is about that how you can slowly and steadily communicate your ideas and explain to them that what it is. So fluency, do not assume that fluency is about being flawless. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. लोग सोचते हैं, लोग समझते हैं, कभी कभी होता है. The idea is to just keep on reducing it as you go ahead. अगर आप आज से ये pressure लेके चलेंगे that it has to be one take perfect, you'll be stressed forever. And the more you stress out on this, the more the more conscious you get about your speech, it'll just make you sweat more. So that's that. And the third very common thing which I hear about English is that fluent English means speaking very fast. It's not. Right now I'm not speaking very fast. I'm speaking at a very normal pace, at a steady pace. Basically, your speed has to be where you feel steady. It's just like driving a car or driving a bike or a cycle. You should go only up till that speed in your vehicle till the point you can control it. जहाँ पे आपको बहुत जोर से ब्रेक मारने की जरूरत ना पड़े. एक ऐसी स्पीड जहाँ पे आप गाड़ी को कंट्रोल में रख सके. यही सेम फिलॉसफी जो है ये अप्लाई करती है स्पीकिंग में भी. That whenever you are speaking, do not go very fast with few words and then suddenly when you realize कि अब तो मुझे और words नहीं आते, या फिर इसके आगे का तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं, तब आप एकदम से स्लो हो जाएंगे. ऐसा चलता नहीं है. Because then that would look odd. That hey, he was speaking very fast up till now, but now he has become very slow. What has happened? Maintain a steady speed. It could be very slow also. As long as it looks fluent, that's fine. So do not go by speed. Start speaking slowly. That's that. Now here is what, how do you improve this? How do you actually improve the speaking? How do you improve your English is what I'll try to tell you. The three things for it. Three very simple things for it. And here they are. The first thing is listening. Listening is the best way you can learn good English, good words, and the art of speaking. Again, it's not about vocabulary. It's about अंदाज़े बयां. और वो अंदाज़े बयां आप लोगों को बोलते हुए देख के या सुनते हुए सीख पाएंगे. For example, I personally feel that the way I speak is heavily influenced by how my chacha ji and my father speaks. Heavily influenced by. In fact, the way I use my hands and things like this is heavily influenced by three people: my chacha ji, my father, and my first boss. So my speaking style is a very close amalgamation of that. Also, I'll tell you one very important thing, one very interesting thing I should say. The places you can learn is what I'd suggest you watch English news channels. The way those anchors speak, forget whether they're speaking sense or they're being fair or they're being biased and all of those things. Forget that. Just see them speak. Podcasts, any English podcast, you can listen to a podcast while working out, while driving, while taking a walk, while doing something else. Just सुनते रहिए, आप subconsciously भी बहुत absorb कर लेंगे. See, when I said that the way I speak is heavily influenced by the way my uncle speaks, my father speaks, my first boss used to speak. It's not that कि मैंने conscious effort लगाया कि अच्छा जी कैसे बोला आपने, नहीं, आप absorb कर लेते हैं at whichever age. Also, cricket commentary, I can tell you, most of my English in my school days, I either learned it from how my faculty, my teachers used to speak, or by listening to cricket commentary. I'm telling you genuinely, and you would agree to this. If you do, go down in the comments and let me know about it, and share this video with somebody who may need this, because there would be a lot of you out there who would need this. Cricket commentary सुन के भी आप बहुत अच्छी अंग्रेजी की fluency सीख सकते हैं. So that's that. These are probably the 3 places where you can learn this, and these are probably the 3 places wherein you should try and learn all of these things. Now, apart from listening, the second thing is reading. Obviously, the 3 places to go are newspapers. Pick a good one. Pick the Hindu, but any would work. Absolutely fine. Then, Aeon essays. A lot of your CAT essays and ZAT essays are directly picked from this website. So why don't you read this? See, again, all the 3 places where I have advised, and then there is a blog, it's called The Ken. Beautiful place, because that will help you form your opinion. Newspapers will help you improve your GK, which is important for MBA interviews. Aeon essays will help you with your RC type reading. You will read and understand it much faster, and that will help you in your CAT and your ZAT and where not. Oops, I think you cannot see my screen. Yeah, so here it is. Reading, 3 places. Newspapers will help you with your GK, helps you in your exams. Aeon essays helps you with your RCs, and the Ken also helps you, 1, in your RCs, 2nd, also in forming opinions, because in interviews it's not important to explain what happened, but why it happened and what is your opinion on it. That's that. So whatever advice I'm sharing, it's not just about speaking. It will make you much more confident MBA overall. That is what my objective for you is. From there, moving on, the third advice. So the first one was listening. I'll just close this. Second was reading. Third is writing. ये आपने already guess कर लिया होगा. Write करके, लिख के आप अपनी अंग्रेजी verbal English बहुत ज्यादा improve कर सकते हैं. Write what? Write blog posts. Start a blog post. I tell to every student, start a blog post. How it helps you? Listen, understand this. Starting a blog helps you in this, that hey, whatever you're learning in the classroom, you can write it and you can learn it in a much more structured manner. जब आप लिखते हैं, आप याद बेहतर कर लेते हैं. दूसरी चीज है, when you're writing a blog post, and when you've installed those tools like Grammarly, it will keep on suggesting you कि यहाँ पे आपकी grammar is not right, something is wrong. आपको शायद अलग से grammar पढ़ने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. अगर आपकी grammar weak है, this advice is for you. Right, because those online tools will auto correct your grammar, will tell you that hey, यहाँ पे कुछ गलत है. जब आप जाते हो and when you see, तो कहते अच्छा ये लिखना चाहिए था हमें. Suddenly, because your grammar is improving, writing also improves the way you think. It gives you a structured thought because you have to write a blog post heading by heading. Suddenly, because you're now thinking in a much more structured manner, it's giving you much more fluency. Your fluency will increase. Your speed of speaking will naturally increase because अब आप सोच पा रहे हो उस speed पे. That is that. If you're a stammerer, by the way, if you have a speech problem, if you have a genuine speech problem of stammering, write down in the comments, because I am a stammerer and I'd love to share more thoughts on this, because this is generally for all people. Maybe if you're a stammerer, I can share more of my experiences. So that is that. Now moving on from there, the second thing which you need to understand is that verbal communication is also a confidence problem. ये लोगों को समझ नहीं आता है. हो सकता है आपकी अंग्रेजी, the language is fine, you have sufficient vocabulary or more than sufficient vocabulary, and anyways, if you've lived in a tier 1, tier 2 city, you've gone to a good, decent school, आपकी अंग्रेजी तो आजकल के जमाने में वैसे ही अच्छी है, तो vocabulary का problem बहुत कम लोगों को होगा. And especially मेरी audience जो MBA के लिए prepare करती है या फिर MBAs हैं, उनमें तो ये problem बहुत होगा भी नहीं. So इसलिए most likely जो आपका problem है वो है confidence, and therefore you need to solve for confidence. Now here is the thing, I want to share it one by one with you, and here is what you need to understand about it, that in confidence you need to solve for 3 things. There are 3 things which you need to know about it. This is probably the biggest reason. As I said, if you are an MBA aspirant, you're an MBA student, then आपको अंग्रेजी का सच प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आपने कैट क्रैक किया हुआ है या फिर नहीं भी क्रैक करा है, तो अगर आप MBA करने का सोच रहे हैं, आपको अंग्रेजी एनर्जी आती है, बट कॉन्फिडेंस सबसे बड़ा रीजन है। सेकंड बात है, ये बात लिख लीजिए, घुसा लीजिए अपने अंदर, अपने जहन में, एक कॉन्फिडेंट इंसान जिसकी वोकैबुलरी कम है वो बहुत बेहतर बोल पाएगा एज कंपेयर टू एक अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट इंसान जिसकी वोकैबुलरी बहुत है। तो किसी ने अगर टॉप ऑफ द लाइन स्कूलिंग करी हुई है, बेस्ट ऑफ द स्कूल्स में गया हुआ है, महंगे महंगे स्कूल्स एंड सब कुछ कर रहा है, मगर अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मी, आई वेंट टू DPS वसंत कुंज, फ्रॉम the class 1, the first class itself till class 12th. My entire schooling was from there. Then I went to Amity University, and the crowd is a good crowd at both of these places. So apparently vocabulary और अंग्रेजी और ग्रामर मेरी अच्छी होनी चाहिए थी, जो कि थी भी। बट अगर आप अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट है, बिकॉज मैं था, बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टैमरिंग, यू आर नो गुड, एंड आई हैव लॉस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ opportunities because of that. Whereas somebody who does not even know a lot of vocabulary and grammar but is much more confident, he'll ace more interviews than you, he'll get more qualifications than you. तो vocabulary पे मत जाइए, कॉन्फिडेंस पे वर्क कीजिए, बहुत आगे जाएंगे आप। तीसरी चीज समझने वाली है वो ये है, कॉन्फिडेंस इसलिए भी नहीं है आपको बिकॉज आपको क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट नहीं है। अगर कल को कोई पूछता है CAA जो ये एक्ट लागू हुआ है, इस पे आपका क्या ओपिनियन है, आपकी चाहे वोकैबुलरी बहुत अच्छी हो, फ्लुएंसी बहुत अच्छी हो, आप लड़खड़ाएंगे, आप हकलाएंगे, यू विल स्टार्ट स्टैमरिंग बिकॉज यू डोंट नो। व्हाई इज दैट? लैक ऑफ थॉट, लैक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ थॉट। देयरफॉर आई हैड एडवाइस्ड यू टू रीड, वॉच न्यूज, because watching will help you hear the speaking style. Reading and watching the news will give you the ज्ञान, and writing will give you structure. Interweaved है, और इसके लिए आपको अलग से समय निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है। टीवी देखते ही आप, टीवी में वो चलाइए। पॉडकास्ट, आप बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग पॉडकास्ट सुनते ही हैं, थोड़े काम के पॉडकास्ट सुन लीजिए जहां पे प्योर इंग्लिश में शायद बातचीत हो रही है, विल हेल्प यू। तो ये सब चीजें आप ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं, अलग चीज नहीं है। नाउ हाउ टू इंप्रूव ऑन कॉन्फिडेंस? आई विल गिव यू 4 things in this, very important 4 things. Here we go. So the first thing is hard skills improve soft skills. Improve your hard skills. Finalize that okay, मुझे फाइनेंस करना है, मार्केटिंग करना है, ऑपरेशंस करना है, HR करना है, क्या करना है, उस फील्ड में अपने स्किल्स इंप्रूव करिए। तब आप महसूस करेंगे that you know what, I will get a finance job. Why not? Because I have skills. I have done CFA, or I have done this, or I can use Excel in an amazing fashion. I have the that in itself will give you the confidence. So your skills will do the talking on your behalf. They will give you the confidence in that yes, I can do that. So I have done CFA. I am very proficient. You start to feel confident because you feel that hey, my skills, my certifications will do the speaking on my behalf, and they do that. That's the first thing. Form your opinions. Incorrect कुछ नहीं होता है, अपनी ओपिनियंस होना जरूरी है किसी भी चीज पे, वेदर ऑन करंट अफेयर्स, वेदर ऑन योर ओन life, that hey, why is it that after class 12th your scores went down? Give your opinion that hey, I didn't study, I was probably far more inclined in sports, or no, even not in sports, I was just burnt out. You have your opinion already. अब उसको communicate करना आसान हो जाएगा because आपने सोच रखा है। सोचिए काफी चीजें, talk to yourself a lot and try to do that in English. Whenever I drive and if I'm driving alone, I talk to myself a lot and it helps me a lot, by the way. Third thing, communication is simply conveying आइडियाज। ये थॉट, एक इक्वेशन अपने जहन में फिट कर लीजिए, इसको अपने जहन में उतार लीजिए, बिकॉज जितना अपने आप को आप ये दोहराएंगे कि जी कम्युनिकेशन इज जस्ट कन्वेइंग ऑफ आइडियाज, मुझे बस अपनी बात कन्वे करनी है एक रीजनेबल अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम में विद रीजनेबल अमाउंट ऑफ गुड क्वालिटी वर्ड्स, दैट्स इट, दैट विल गिव यू अ वेरी कंफर्टिंग फीलिंग ओवरऑल. And fourth thing is a very simple thing. It's not so simple to understand, but once you understand, it's very simple. Build a personal brand. Hello, what does this mean? What does build a personal brand mean? आप फर्ज करिए कि आप फाइनेंस की जॉब रोल या फिर मार्केटिंग की जॉब रोल हासिल करना चाहते हैं MBA के बाद. You want to get a job in the field of marketing post MBA. And for the last 1 or 2 years during your MBA, you've been writing about marketing left, right, and center on LinkedIn, and also you've created a blog on the same subject. Because you are writing in that one field, you are moving towards building an expertise in that field. Now suddenly when you'll walk into your MBA admission interviews, you could say that hey sir, you know what, on this field I already have a blog, I've created some 100 articles on it, or maybe I have a YouTube channel where I speak about finance, or I speak about marketing or sales or operations or HR or whatever, and I've been creating a lot of content, and these are my ideas. You've built a personal brand. Now that personal brand is doing the speaking on your behalf, so much so that you might not even have to sit for a placement interview. This is what my story is. Because I used to stammer in the first year, I started a blog called Super Heuristics. It was a blog in the field of marketing. I has to write marketing articles each week. From that blog in itself, I used to get a lot of freelancing assignments from around the world. From those freelancing assignments, I got job offers as well. I took one of those job offers. I never had to appear for an interview for a job. That's that. So a personal brand suddenly gives you confidence that even if you have to go to an interview setting, you are feeling like an expert already. I'm not saying be overconfident about it, but once you will do it, you will know what I'm talking about. It gives you a very different feeling. That's that. And finally, let me just take you through this one last thing. At the end of the day, all of this is all about practice. So practice is important. How do you practice this? I'll give you 3 tips. I'll close it with this. The first thing is, take up a 100-day challenge of sorts. It could be a 30-day challenge, 40-day challenge, 45-day, a 60-day challenge, or a 100-day challenge. Take whatever duration, take at least for 30 days. And in this challenge, fix a few things that, I will watch news for a certain amount of time, or I will listen to a podcast, and I will create one blog post, or I will create one LinkedIn post, which will also help me in my personal branding. It will also help me learn that much more. It will also help me structure my thoughts. So हर चीज के बहुत फायदे हैं. That's that. And probably I'll do this for 30 days and I'll see the improvement in me. The second one is a very unique idea, but if you can do it, this is the fastest way to do it. This is the fastest. I repeat, the second one which I'm about to say to you is actually the fastest way to do it. You know what it is? Start YouTubing. Make a YouTube channel from day one. ये जो 100-day challenge लेंगे आप, day one से एक YouTube channel start करिए and make videos, short videos. It could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and you could be horrible. Go to my YouTube channel, you would see something very amazing. Go to my videos from last 3-4 years. I used to speak very slowly, बिल्कुल underconfident. वो videos अभी भी channel पे हैं and you can make out the फर्क, because the more you speak, the more you get the ability to look into the camera and speak, it will improve. Then obviously when you go into the interview room, it would show. Again, this one activity helping you in 5 different ways. Helps you learn your skill, because while making a video थोड़ा तो preparation करोगे, opinions form होंगे. अब जैसे मैंने आपको अपनी opinion दी on these things, you will have to create your own opinion. You will learn your subject. So create a channel say on say sales or marketing, operations, finance, HR, or on certain industry, whatever. Fifth thing, it will help you build a personal brand. अरे famous हो जाओगे. You might want to earn money from this. For all you know, you might not need a placement after this. There are so many MBAs from top schools like Shweta Arora, like the IM guy, like so many others. I can give you 5 other names who are doing YouTubing full time. How is that? I'm doing YouTubing now, and along with that I do a few other things. That's the thing, because this grows. There is no way that it can go down if you start it once. That's that. And the third thing is a very simple cliched advice, but take mock interviews. If you have joined a coaching institute, then ask for mock interviews from very early on. Do not wait for the PDP season. आप किसी faculty से कह दो कि सर आज शाम अगर आप free हैं, just take a mock interview. Although my actual interviews is like 6 months away, I don't care, but I want to prepare myself for that. Take mock interviews. I can take your mock interview. That's that. So with these things, what you'll understand is that with these 3 things, working on your language, not so important, because if you are preparing for MBA, you know things. Language, confidence, the biggest problem, and practice. Start a YouTube channel for all you. That, my dear friends, is the most comprehensive video you'll ever watch on improving your verbal communication skills as an MBA student. If you've liked this, I'm sure you have. I know that. I can feel the energy that now you've got new ideas about it. Share it. Share it in a WhatsApp group. Share it in a Telegram group. Share it on various other forums where you are on, because this is required to go out there. It will help a lot of students who are in distress. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.